Hello friends and welcome to YouTube channel Freedom Tech, and in this session what we are going to learn. Friends, in this session again we will use our Google Coral USB accelerator, and we have our YOLO11 custom object detection model which detect car number plate. So here what we will add a Firebase database. Means we will detect the number plate using our own custom object detection model with the help of Google Coral USB accelerator on Raspberry Pi 4, latest Raspberry Pi OS bookworm 64-bit version. And then when we detect a number plate, we will use a pedal OCR so we can extract that number plate text, and we will send the text on real-time database which is a Firebase. And then we will use Google Gemini API, and then we will create our own agent which scan our database which is online on our Firebase, and then we can ask queries related to our database. Simple. So before we move to our practical, friends, if you learn something from our videos, please consider to subscribe our channel. Okay friends, thank you so much, and let's get started. So friends, as I mentioned, today we will discuss about how we can use YOLO11 custom object detection with the help of Google Coral USB accelerator on Raspberry Pi 4 GB RAM, and we have here latest Raspberry Pi OS which is bookworm 64-bit version. So when we detect a number plate, because we have our custom object detection model, so of course we will detect the number plate, and we have pedal OCR so we can extract that text, and then extracted text we will send on Firebase online database server, and then we will use a Gemini API, and then we will create the agent. Because I have already created the agent, I will share the full code of the project. I will explain the code. It is really easy. So because we have now our agent, so our agent will basically scan the database from Firebase, and we can ask any queries related to our database. Simple. So for that, first you need to configure the Coral USB accelerator with Raspberry Pi 4 using latest Raspberry Pi OS bookworm. I have already created a playlist. Watch the playlist and you will get the idea how to configure Google Coral USB accelerator on Raspberry Pi 4 GB RAM with our latest Raspberry Pi OS bookworm 64-bit version. So I have already done with basic configuration. I have here our virtual environment. If you watch my last two videos, so we have here our virtual environment ready, which is basically we created a Freedom Tech folder. As you can see, we have here Freedom Tech folder, and inside that we create a Python 3.9 version for Google Coral USB accelerator to work with YOLO11. Simple. So our environment is already ready. That's it. So for today's session, I have created again new repository. I will mention the link. Simply copy paste the link inside web browser. So RPi 4 Coral number plate. Go to the code and click on download zip, and it will download our zip format repository. So we successfully download our repository. Just open file manager, go to the downloads, and this is what our repository. Right click on extract here, and it will extract our repository as our folder. Now we will move our repository, or we can say simple folder, on our home directory. So right click, cut, click on home, and then just paste it. Done. So if you open the folder here, as you can see, as I mentioned, I have created a small model which basically detect for particular video which I want to use as a demo. So this is the model. Simple, which is HTTPU.TF-Lite format for Google Coral USB accelerator. This is what our agent1.py, which is our Google Gemini API agent, GenAI, and this is the data which basically we are reading from Firebase. This is what our main core file, which is test.py, and this is what our tracker.py, because we want to track the number plate with the help of our tracker, and this is the vid.txt file for video to download. Simple. So first thing first we need our video file. So simply vid.txt, right click, open with the text editor, and it will open our vid file with the help of text editor. So this is what a mega cloud link for video file. Copy the link, open the web browser and just open new tab, Ctrl+V and hit enter. It will open a mega cloud link for video file. So friends, as you can see, this is what our video file num1.mp4. So click on download and it will download our video file. So friends, we downloaded our video file, as you can see, num1.mp4. Let's just close a mega cloud link, minimize browser, close the text file and just open file manager, which we already opened. Go to the downloads and we have our video file, which is num1.mp4. Let's just cut and go to the home and our folder and just paste it. Simple. So this is what our video file. Right click and open with the VLC media player. It will open our video file with the help of VLC media player. Simple. So as you can see friends, we have here cars and the number plate. Simple. So with the help of our own custom object detection model, we can simply detect these cars. So I have already created the model and I have shared the model, so there is no need to create the model. You can create your own model as per your scenario with the help of RoboFlow. Simple. I have created the model with the help of RoboFlow. Simple. So this is what our video file. So I have created the model only for this video. Simple. It will not detect any other videos. It is really small model. I have used this model as a database for images and I have created the model. Simple. So we have our video file. I have already shown you. This is what our video file. Now first we want to create a Firebase database, because object detection method which I have already shared with you in first video. So the same method we will use, only we will add a tracker for tracking basically the car number plate. Simple. So but first we will create our Firebase database. So for that, just open Firebase. You can simply search for Firebase and it will open the Firebase. You need to simply sign up with your Google ID, or you can say the Gmail ID. So I have already signed up with the Gmail ID and console.firebase.google.com. Simple. As I mentioned, only search for Firebase. You have to simply sign up and then you will see this kind of dashboard. Welcome to Firebase. So here we will first create our project. So get started with Firebase project. Just select it and it will create the project. So we want to add the project here. So mention the name. So I will mention, let's just say R54 Coral, or let's just say R54 number plate YOLO11. R54 number plate YOLO11 and then just click on continue and it will create the database. Again here just click on continue. Not database, sorry friends, it will create the first project. Simple, not database. We are creating first project. So configuring the project now. Then here we have option select account. Just select with default account for Firebase. Then click on create project. And now it's creating our project. So friends, we successfully created our project. Here it is, as you can see. You will see your Firebase project is ready message. Then simply click on continue and then we have here our project, as you can see. So this is the project. This is what our project. So when the project process completed, you will see this kind of page. This is what our name of our project, R54 number plate YOLO11. Simple. So we have our project. Now we want to create a real-time database. For that, on this dashboard, we have to go here in build section. Just click on the build and then just click on real-time database. Select the real-time database. Select it, real-time database. and then you will see this kind of dashboard, or we can say this kind of page. Here simply click on create database. Then real-time database location, you can simply go with the default one, which is United States. Simple. I will not change the location. Then click on next. Then start in lock mode. Just don't change anything here, just go with default one, which is start in lock mode, and click on enable. So friends, we created real-time database, and as you can see, this is what our database. So when we send the entries, you will see here all the entries. You will see here all the entries. So in our case, it is basically the current date, current time, and number plate entry. Here you will see. Now, for accessing our Firebase database, we need API key. So for API key, we have to go here, there, project overview, and just click on this gear icon, project overview, and click on this gear icon. You will see the first option, which is project settings. Select it, project settings option. Then after we click on project settings, we are now inside the project settings. Here we want to go in service accounts. So click on the service accounts. And then here we want to click on generate new private key. Simply click on generate new private key, then click on generate key. It will create the key and it will download the key in JSON format. So we downloaded our key, as you can see. Now simply open the downloads, and this is what our key. So we want to move this key on in our folder. So right click, cut, home, this is what our folder, and just paste it. Done. So we have now our key for accessing the database, or we can say for accessing the Firebase. We have our key ready. Simple. Now let's just open test.py. So right click, open with Tony. Because we have already activated our virtual environment, from here let's just say, because I have already explained how to activate all these things in first video, but for your kind of information, simply first we have to go in run config interpreter, and then here Python. Here we can select the environment. So this is what our environment, as you can see, Python 3.9. Select it, then click on OK, and then it will activate our virtual environment. Done. Now we need a packages. So inside code I have already mentioned all the packages. So just we will install all the packages one by one. So just go to the tools, manage packages, and we will first search for, let's just say, OpenCV-Python. So OpenCV-Python, and hit enter. It will search for OpenCV-Python. First package, just click on install button. Done. It will install OpenCV on our Raspberry Pi 4 machine. Simple. So I have already installed it, that's why it's a uninstall. Then we need Ultralytics package. So search for Ultralytics, hit enter. It's searching for Ultralytics, and as you can see, the first package Ultralytics. Select it, click on install button. Done. It will install Ultralytics also on our Raspberry Pi 4. Then we need CVZone package. Just search for CVZone. It will search the CVZone package. First package CVZone, select it, click on install button. Done. Now we need a pedal OCR for extracting the text or for reading the text from the image. Pedal is the package, PADDLE. Click on search on PyPy. and it will search for pedal. So this is what our package, pedal, select it, click on install button, done. It will install pedal. Then we need pedal OCR, hit enter, pedal OCR first package, click on install button, done. It will install pedal OCR. So we have done with OpenCV-Python, we have done with Ultralytics, we install CVZone, we install pedal, we install pedal OCR. Now for Firebase, we need Firebase admin, Firebase admin, and hit enter. It will search for Firebase admin package. So as you can see, this is the package, Firebase admin. Just click on it, on the Firebase admin package, click on install button, done. It will install Firebase admin. This is the package, as you can see, Firebase admin. So I have already installed Firebase admin. So this is how these packages which we need for run test.py, OpenCV-Python, then we need Ultralytics, then also we need pandas package. So just install pandas also, simple. So OpenCV-Python, pandas, then Ultralytics, then pedal, then pedal OCR, then we need Firebase admin package also, simple. So I have done with all the packages. Now the code. So this is the packages which we need. So I have already import all those packages, import CV2, import pandas SPD, Ultralytics import YOLO, pedal OCR import pedal OCR, from tracker import tracker, which is our tracker.py. So if I open here our tracker.py, this is what our tracker.py code. So we will use this tracker.py code for tracking the number plate. So we will, because this file name is tracker.py, so for that I have mentioned here tracker. From tracker means from this tracker we will import a tracker class. So inside tracker.py we have tracker class, as you can see. So for that I have mentioned the tracker, T is capital. Then CVZone, then Firebase admin, import conditionals and DB. That's it. And from date time, import date time, because we want to save the number plate with current date time and current date time, current date and current time, simple. And first we want to mention the Firebase conditionals. So first here it is, as you can see, I have mentioned cred is equal to conditionals dot certificate. Here we want to mention our key which we downloaded in JSON format, simple. And first here, as you can see, OCR. So OCR is just a variable. So OCR is equal to our pedal OCR. And then initialize the Firebase. So Firebase, as I mentioned, cred is the again variable, and conditionals dot C capital certificate, and here we want to mention our JSON format key path. So let's just open our folder. Inside that we have our key. So this is what our key. Right click, then click on rename, and then just copy the name, copy as it is, copy it and minimize all these things, and then double quote we have to simply press Ctrl+V. It will paste our key name. So this is the key name, simple. In your case it may be different. So this is the key name. This is how you need to first mention the key name, our JSON format key name. So cred is equal to conditional.certificate is basically the key name which we downloaded in JSON format, done. And then the Firebase admin initialize app. So here we want to mention basically database URL. So for that, again open our Firebase dashboard, project setting, and here we want to go in real-time database. Just click on the real-time database, and then this is what our database link. Just click on it. It will copy the link, as you can see, copy to clipboard, and open our code, and just here database URL in single quote, just Ctrl+V, paste it. It will paste the URL of, this is basically our database URL, done, simple. So this is how first we want to mention our JSON format key, and then we have to mention our database URL link. Then our basic code, we have our YOLO, this is what our model, then this is what our video file, then we have detection. Simple. So we have detection here, and this is what our OCR function. So OCR function is basically for extracting the text using detected object rectangle. We will crop that image, we will crop the rectangle, and we will basically send the crop image inside this perform OCR function. I have explained this function several times in previous videos. Simple. So perform OCR function, which basically need object, which is the image array. So it need the image. So basically we are sending the crop image for this perform OCR function, and then with the help of perform OCR function we will extract the text. So here we have text, detected text, done. And then this is the basic method. We have rectangle x1 y1 x2 y2, and then because we want to use our tracker, so for this tracker we need detected object rectangle coordinates. So for that I have created here list. As you can see here we have our rectangle x1 y1 x2 y2. So then I have created the list dot append, and inside that x1 y1 x2 and y2 just passed it, and then here I have mentioned the list. So this, inside this list we have each number plate rectangle coordinates, because we are appending all those rectangle coordinates inside this list. For that I have mentioned here list dot append, and what we are appending, we are appending the rectangle coordinates, which is x1 y1 x2 and y2, as simple as. And then now we have each number plate rectangle coordinates. So simply we can pass these rectangle coordinates inside our tracker, because in the tracker we have update function. As you can see, update function. So for that I have created here a variable. So tracker, this tracker is variable. This tracker represent our tracker class. This tracker, as you can see here, I have mentioned T is capital. So this tracker variable is basically our tracker class from tracker.py. T is capital, tracker class. Simple. So now if I want to call the tracker, simply I will call this tracker variable. So we have now our list. Inside that list we have all the coordinates, detected object rectangle coordinates. So simply if I want to pass these coordinates inside our tracker.py, so I will call the tracker variable with the update function, with this update function, update. So here bbox idx, it is just a variable. Bbox idx is equal to our tracker variable, which I have already shown you. This one tracker. So tracker dot update. So inside tracker we have update function. So tracker dot update, and what we want to update, we want to update our rectangle coordinates. Means we want to send inside the update function, we want to send these rectangle coordinates. For that I have mentioned the list, because inside that list we have each object detected rectangle coordinates, which is x1 y1 x2 and y2. Simple. So now we are sending all those the coordinates. So tracker will track all the coordinates, and it will return again new coordinates with unique ID for each detected object. So for that, for bbox, in this bbox idx, in this bbox idx, again we have x3 y3 x4 y4 and the new variable, which is the ID. Now our tracker will assign unique ID for each number plate. Each number plate we have rectangle coordinates along with the unique ID. So x3 y3 x4 y4 ID is equal to this bbox, as simple as. And then now friends, what we will do, let me first start here a code, then you will get the idea. So what I can do here, I will simply freeze the while loop. If I save the code, if I run the code, so friends, I have started the frame, and because we freeze the frame, so this is what our first frame, and here it is. As you can see, we have a number plate. So here you will see I have created a line. So what is the concept behind of this line? So simple, when we have now track ID, okay, we have now track ID for each number plate. Each number plate we have track ID and rectangle coordinates. Simple. So now if I detected this number plate here, so basically what will happen, it will detect it continuously, and it will, because we want to save the data and it's detecting the continuous same number plate, so it will save same number plate data again and again inside our database, inside the Firebase database. So for that we created a condition. What is the condition? Because we have rectangle, so we have here x3, y3, x4, y4. This is what our rectangle coordinates with the help of our tracker.py. So now using these coordinates we can simply get the detected object rectangle center point. So cx and cy is basically the center point of each number plate. So cx and cy is basically int x3 plus x4 divided by 2, and cy is equal to int y3 plus y4 divided by 2. This is how we will get the cx and cy. Cx and cy is basically detected object center point. Simple. So now we have center point, and with the help of this line, so how do I draw this line? Simple. In Windows we need to mention cv2.event mouse move function, but in Raspberry Pi 4 there is no need to mention the function, because here when you start the OpenCV we have the frame. So here you will see we have here xy coordinates on the frame, and if you move the mouse cursor on the frame, this coordinates is basically the real coordinates. Here it is, as you can see, it's changing. So let's just say if I want to draw the line, so I will simply move the cursor over here, and I need to mention here, you will see the x and y coordinates, simply mention that coordinates for drawing the line, and at the end you will get the xy coordinates, mention that the coordinates. So this is how I have mentioned here coordinates. Here it is, as you can see, cv2.line 179 which is the start point, and 101979 which is the end point. Remember one thing friends, you have to mention this y coordinate same for both start point and end point. Simple. So how do we get the coordinates? Simply move the cursor. So if I go here, let's just say you will see 0342 xy here you will see the coordinates. Let's just say I have go here, x is equal to 0, y is equal to 459. If I go over here, x is equal to 1019, y is equal to 440. So this is how you will get the start point for drawing the line, you will get the end point for drawing the line. So simply mention the points and cv2.line function will draw the line. So this is how I have draw the line. So this is the xy coordinate, this is the color which is the red color 00255, and this is the thickness which is the 2. So this is how you can draw the line. So now we have line, we have center point, also we have track ID. So here what is my condition? When detected object rectangle center point touch the line, only that time I want to draw all these things, or only that time I want to save my data. Otherwise there is no need to save the data, because it will create again and again same data saving process. So it's only save the data when this number plate center point touch the line. After or before there will be no saving data process. Only when the number plate center point touch the line, then it will save the data. Simple. For that the condition is what? Condition is like this way here. If cy1, so this cy1 is basically our line y coordinates, these coordinates. cy1 is basically the y coordinates of line. So here I have mentioned cy1 is equal to 79. So what is 79? 79 is basically our line coordinate y coordinates for start and end y. Simple. So this is what our cy1, and the offset is equal to 10. Offset is equal to 10. Simple. So here I have mentioned the condition. If cy1, if it is less than cy, this cy which is our center point, because our condition, as I mentioned in Word, if I want to mention the condition when the center point detected object center point touch the line, so this is what the center point cy. cy1 if it is less than cy plus offset, and cy1 if it is greater than cy minus offset, means it's touching the line, means the center point touching the line. Then only we will do all these things. Then after I have mentioned all other code, means here as you can see I have mentioned the crop function for cropping the number plate. Then I have called here text is equal to perform OCR function, and inside that I have passed the crop, because perform OCR function is our OCR function for extracting the text from the crop number plate. So text is equal to perform OCR function, and inside that I have passed the crop. So all the things are happening after this condition. So this condition is basically a touching the line. The number plate is basically touching the line using the center point. As simple as simple. And now after that, friends, what happened here? When the center point touch the line, meanwhile it will count the same ID again and again. Meanwhile it will count same ID again and again. So for that, again I have created here condition, please don't count same ID again and again. So for that we want to save all those ID inside the list. So here it is, as you can see I have mentioned here list1 dot append ID. So this ID is basically our track ID. This ID is basically our track ID. Simple, x3, y3, x4, y4 and the ID. So ID is basically the each number plate track ID. So here I have created the condition list1 dot append ID. So we are appending each number plate unique track ID inside this list1, and this list1 I have mentioned over here. Here it is, as you can see, list1. So inside this list1 now we have each number plate track ID, and then we created the condition here. If the list1 means the list1, our list, inside that list1 we have each number plate track ID. So if the list1 dot count ID, what we are counting? We are counting the unique ID is equal to 0, means please don't count same ID again and again. Please don't count same ID again and again. Simple. Now what will happen here? If I start the frame, when the number plate touch the line, we match our first condition. It will not count the same ID. All other areas it will count only here when the center point touch the line. But when the center point touch the line, it will, of course it will take some time to cross the area. So meanwhile it will count same ID again and again. For that we are saving unique track ID, and then we creating the condition that please don't count same track ID again and again if it is inside our list1, because we are saving the track ID inside list1 and we are calling it. So we can simply say don't count same ID again and again. It is really easy. Simple. So now we have full match condition, so we are ready to save our data inside our Firebase. Done. So after that, after here we have text. So now we have detected number plate text. Simple. So when we detect the text, after that we want our current date, because we are creating the data set, or not data set, basically we are creating the data in format like we need current date, current time, and then the number plate text. So for that, current date is equal to simple format date time dot now, and then we have years, month and date, and this is what the hours, minutes, second and AM or PM. Simple. And then this is how we will store the data in our Firebase. Number plate, text format, date, current date, this is the variable current date, and the time, current time. So this is what my format for saving the data. So I will show you. So then after we will add the data. So adding the data inside Firebase, we create here a new variable which is ref. You can mention any variable. This is just a variable ref, and this is the DB. So this DB is basically this Firebase admin import credentials and DB. From Firebase admin we call DB. So this DB we use here DB dot reference, and we want to mention the name, the number plates. So this is basically the database name, database name. So db.reference number plate, and inside that new entry we will use ref, and for saving the data we will use dot push method. So this ref is basically the database, so ref dot push, and what we are pushing this data. So here we have data. Simple. So now let me show you here. So you will see here inside shell, you will see the text. Simple. So when this number plate detected, and we have here text, as you can see we have here text. So 5152 HPT means we detected number plate and we use the OCR method, and we have now text. Now if you go here on our database, as you can see number plates is the name of database, and if you drop down we have key, and if you drop down the key, then as you can see we have date. So date is basically here, here 19. So date, current date, the number plate detected text. So let me show you here 5152 HPT and our 5152 HPT and current time, which is 14:55:44 p.m. So it means we are saving our data on our cloud, Firebase cloud. Simple. So we have successfully detected the object using YOLO11 on Raspberry Pi 4 with the help of Coral USB accelerator. Simple. And then we use here pedal OCR for extracting the text, and with the help of Firebase we are saving the data on the cloud. Done, because this is what a live entry. Simple. Now we will simply start our while loop. So we are simply start our while loop. So friends, as you can see we started a while loop, and as I mentioned, because I am same time recording on my same Raspberry Pi 4, that's why it is really slow. But in your case it worked really good. I have tested without recording and it worked really good on Raspberry Pi 4. This is what my Raspberry Pi 4 GB RAM, not 8 GB, or we have now Raspberry Pi 5 with 16 GB RAM. Simple. So the speed is really good. As I mentioned, I am same time recording. So we started a while loop and the cars are coming. When the condition match, we have Firebase database and we are saving the text inside our Firebase database cloud. Simple. So friends, our video is over. Means if I go now on our Firebase database, as you can see we have all the entries. This is what our last entry with the date, with the number plate text and with the time 14:59. So we successfully send all the entries, all the data on our Firebase cloud. Now how do we read? For that again I have mentioned the code. If I go here in file, click on open, and inside our repository I have mentioned fdataread.py. So this is basically for data reading. So open the code, and here same way we want to mention all the conditionals. So just open test.py. We want to mention our JSON key. So copy as it is. Remember one thing friends, don't copy my keys, okay? So you have to create your own keys as I show you. So data read, here our JSON key, and here in database URL we want to mention our database URL key, not key, basically database URL. Just copy and here in single quote just paste it. Done. Save it. Now this code will basically read means here we want to push the data, so we mention here push method. Now we want to get the data, so here we mention here ref.get. It will get the data from Firebase. Simple. So this is what our number plates, this is basically reference the number plates node. Simple. So if I run the code, it will show all the data. It will show all the data. And as you can see friends, data received from Firebase. So this is what our data with the number plate, the name, the column name, number plate, this is the date, then the date, number plate, then all the number plates, then the time and their time. Simple. So this is the data. Now friends, as I mentioned, we will create our agent, because I have already created the agent. It is really easy. I have created the agent with the help of Gemini API, our Google Gen AI. So simple. For that, open the browser and we will go in Gemini Developer API. So you have to simply search Gemini API. So it will open ai.google.dev, ai.google.dev, and then here we will go in solutions, and then go to the Gemini API, click on Gemini API. And it will open this kind of page. Here we will select get a Gemini API key, click on get a Gemini API key. And then here you will see this kind of page. Simple. Now here we want to create our API key, so just click on create API key, and here you want to mention simply the project name. So I have already all the projects, so I will select one of them, select it and click on create API key, and it will create our API key. So this is the key. Let's just copy it and minimize all these things, minimize Tony, and here we will create a new file. Okay, and inside that file we will save our Gemini API key. Just paste it. Simple. File and save it. Done. Now there is no need to continuously open our Gemini API key page. Done. Now I have mentioned here agent.py, agent1.py code. So let's just open that code. Open agent1.py. Click on OK. So now friends, first we want the package which is Google Generative AI. So just copy this Google Generative AI, copy it, go to the tools, manage packages, and press Ctrl+V. It will paste the Google Generative AI. This is what the package name. Click on search on PyPy. It will search for Google Generative AI and the first package Google-Generative AI. Click on install button. Done. It will install the package. And because we already installed with Firebase admin, so there is no need to install all these things. Also, as I mentioned, we already installed pandas also. Simple. So we have done with all the packages. Now here we want to again mention all those Firebase credentials. So just open our test.py. This is what our JSON code. So copy as it is. Agent1.py here our JSON key, and then we need our database URL. So database URL, copy it, agent1.py here in single quote, just Ctrl+V, paste it, and then Gen AI configure API key. So this is where we want to mention our API key, which is the Google Gemini API key. So open our text file and then just copy the key, copy it, open Tony, and here mention Ctrl+V. This is what our key. Done. Now First friends, when we read the data using the function which basically rep.get, so this is the function for getting the data from Firebase, but we want to convert that data into table format using the pandas. So for that, here read data to data frame. So this is the function which basically read the data. So here it is, as you can see here also we mention rep.geta, so it will get the data from Firebase. So here also rep.geta, it will get the data from Firebase. And then because we want to convert the data into panda format, panda table format, so if data, it will print the data received from Firebase and then create a list to hold the rows of data. And then the for loop, so for key value in data.items, in this data.items, date value.get, and it will get the date. Then number plate value.get, it will get the number plate, and the time again value.get, it will extract the time. And then it will append all the data in this records, records.append. What we will append? We will appending record. And then convert the list of records to pandas to data frame. So PD, this PD, pandas as PD. df is just a variable, df is equal to pd.data frame, and we will pass the records. Inside that records we have all the data. Then this is for our agent. This is what our agent. This is basically our agent. And then we will create the prompt. Simple. So now if I run the code, so it will scan the data, and based on our data we can ask the queries with our agent. So friends, as you can see, it's converted the data into pandas because I have print here. I am printing the data. Here it is, as you can see, print data successfully converted to data frame, and we are printing this df. So this df is basically this in data in pandas format. Simple. You can simply comment if you don't want to print. This is for our knowing purpose. And then now ask a query related to the number plate data. What is number plate? And this is how we can ask the queries. So simple. So let's just say tell me the last number plate time. Tell me last number plate time. If I hit enter, so agent response the last number plate time in provided data, which is 1459. Here it is, as you can see, 1459. Now I can simply say 1459, or let's just say last number plate text, and here it is, as you can see friends, we have 7836 HBL. Simple. Now let's just say I want to know last two number plate text and time in table. If I hit enter, and as you can see it says 7190 FFP at 14:59 PM, and because we have here our data, so we can simply cross check 7190 FFP, which is the second last, and this one is the last 7836 HBL, and the time is also there. So you can ask any queries related to our data set, our database, using Gemini agent. Simple. I have shared the full project code with this GitHub repository. If you just click exit, it will exit with the agent. Simple. Now one more things friends, how do we delete the Firebase database? Because let's just say if you want to create a new one, so you want to delete the old one. So So now I will show you how to delete the database, or just say how to delete the project. Okay, so friends, this is what our project page. Just go to here again, this gear option, and select it project setting again, and then just scroll down, and here you will see the option which is delete project. Just click on it, delete project, and select all those options, select it and click on delete project. It will delete your project, and now you can create a new project. Simple. So now as you can see, there is no project, you can create simply new one. So this is how, friends, with the help of Google Coral USB Accelerator, I have created my own custom object detection model using YOLO11. It works really good with the help of Google Coral USB Accelerator on Raspberry Pi 4, Raspberry Pi OS Bookworm 64-bit version. I have your 4 GB RAM Raspberry Pi 4, and with the help of pedal OCR, we are extracting the text, and then we are sending the text on our Firebase database, and with the help of Gen AI, Google Gemini API, we create the agent, and we basically create the agent which basically scan our database, and we can ask the queries related to our data. I share the full code. I hope you learned something from this video. We'll meet our next video. Till then, thank you, take care, and bye bye.